Okay, so to be honest, I'm trying to do this whole thing kind of like a crash course that'll get you ready and playing as soon as possible. So looking at Over the Hills and Far Away, the next part is actually a little bit tricky, and I think it's stuff that you could learn, but you would really only use it in this song. So I'm gonna backpedal a little bit, go back to some basic chords, major and minor chords, and but that whole intro is still like a really good exercise for you know a little bit of a riff, go back to the chords, riff chords, that kind of thing, kind of like a call and return, which is very popular in a lot of songs. Um, but for now, I'm gonna put that on hold. I could always come back to it, but I'm gonna go back to the chords. So far, we got G, D, and E minor. So let's see, what do we got here? I think an A chord would be a nice next chord to learn. Okay, so the A chord is actually pretty simple. People like this chord when they first learn it because it's super easy. Well, it's pretty easy. Top string, don't play it. Second string, open. Alright, then 1, 2, 3 fingers, all on the second fret in a row. So don't play the top one, play the second string open, then 2, 2, 2, and then the bottom string is open. I almost don't want to teach this because it's like cheating a little bit. This A chord sounds really nice when you could get that bottom open string, but that bottom open string is pretty tricky. So sometimes what people do is they just bar with one finger and they don't play that bottom string because it's a little bit easier rather than trying to bunch all three fingers on one fret area, you know? If you do play that bottom string, you're not supposed to. That's not an A chord. It's an A6, which is only in like one song ever. It's at the end of Help. So you don't want to play that bottom string at all if you're going to do it that way. I think it sounds so much nicer if you can get that though. But it's a matter of taste. If you don't feel like putting in all that effort for one note, then you don't have to. So that's the A chord. I'll put up the diagram of it here too, in case you want to pause. There it is. And again, mix that in with all the other chords you've learned. Come up with your own chord progressions. If you see that second exercise there at the bottom, I kind of like that one because it gets you mixing in the multiple chords. And mix up the strumming pattern however you feel fit. And a lot of times people get kind of into like this robotic rhythm of playing guitar where it's like A, 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 G, 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 G. Try to it sounds so hippie-ish, like, it's something you would hear a guitar teacher say, but like, loosen up, man, just about jamming, or like whatever. So just like, get into it as much as you can. Really try to sell that one chord for as much as it's worth. Mix up the dynamics too, loudness, softness. So let's see what else we got here. We got G. Okay, so the E chord. Now, if you remember, when I taught you the E minor, it was with your second and your third finger, and the rest of it open. Now the reason, you might have asked yourself, why would you play the E minor with your second and third when you could use your first and your second just as easily? It's easier to use the first two fingers. Well, with the E major chord, you're only changing one little bit of the chord. So instead of the E minor is that, if you play that with your second and your third finger, and then put your first finger on the first fret of the fourth string. So 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top, your first finger. So that's the E major, and that's the E minor. I really hope the volume is okay on this. I don't know how shitty these computer mics are. I was trying not to curse for the whole thing, and I just did. But that's E. So I'll hold the diagram up, and then so open on the top string, second string is your second fret with your second finger. The third string is the third finger on the second fret. Third finger, second fret. The fourth string is your first finger on the first fret, and then the bottom two strings are open. And these exercises here are pretty good too, going between E and G. As you can see, I'm going a little, there's C. I'm kind of going out of the order of the way I learned it, but this is to get you playing songs as fast as possible. I'm not going out of order because I'm going out of order because I think it's a little bit more efficient than the way that I learned it. So yeah. Alright, so the next video I'm going to go over a couple more chords, the like bare bones chords, and then I'm going to get into bar chords and power chords. And bar chords are kind of hell when you first start learning them, but they're really like the most best, they're like the best thing ever as far as like how many functions it has for playing guitar. And yeah, so I'll get onto that next. Actually, I'm going to do a riff first, and then we'll finish the chords, and then that stuff.